What happened when I stopped wearing makeup on YouTube, and specifically when I didn't wear a full face of makeup for over a year? I think it was actually like a year and a half. And how my life has changed since, because a lot of things happened that I was not expecting. We're talking view counts, we're talking self-esteem, and we're even talking societal expectations, because unfortunately I feel like our appearance is somehow linked by media and marketing to our intrinsic value as humans, which is not the truth, but marketing likes us to believe that. So let's start off with how we kind of got here. Growing up, you know that I had severe cystic acne and I was bullied for it. And when I first started my YouTube channel, I would wear a ton of makeup. And the only reason that my YouTube channel really took off back in 2010 was because I decided to strip it all off. But even when I exposed my bare skin online, I still felt insecure. And I felt better when I had this makeup shield on, this thing that would protect me, specifically foundation, blush, and contour, etc. And for the next 8 to 10 years of this YouTube channel, it was, you know, me being creative and expressive with makeup, but also using it as a way to hide and to cover myself. And knowing how it feels to be so insecure, to walk outside, to go to the grocery store, to face the world without cosmetics on your face, that feeling, it still lingers, you know? And when I first started toying around with the idea in my mind before making any actions on YouTube of thinking, what if I didn't wear makeup in a video? Like, what would that be like if I stopped wearing makeup almost altogether? It was kind of terrifying to think about, because it almost seems like YouTube expects us to look presentable, to have makeup on our faces, to make sure that we look a certain way. And it always seems like, you know, the more popular people online are the ones who wear makeup. The people who seem to succeed, you don't catch them barefaced. Same with celebrities. I think that that pressure is something that almost every single girl feels, or at least has felt at some point in their lives. Does anyone know how it feels to be just so insecure about your skin or your appearance, or if someone's gonna tell you that you look tired or unkempt, that you can't even walk outside the front door without something on your face? There was a girl recently that I saw on TikTok who was talking about working at Emirates, and specifically about how they would make her appear with her baby hairs slicked back, but she's Afghan, and so her baby hairs would stick up in 30 minutes. And the one day that she was eating her meal on the bus to get to work at 3 a.m., she forgot to apply her lipstick and she got written up for it. And it almost feels like makeup is an expectation for us at times. So when I was first kind of playing around with this idea of not wearing makeup in a YouTube video, it was scary. I mean, I love what I do here. I love helping people understand their skin and sharing my experiences very openly, but there are aspects of YouTube that are like other jobs, and similar to showing up in front of coworkers, you know, it's like, hi, there's like a couple 100,000 or 1 million of us. Like, I don't like to think about it because then, you know, it's a lot to wrap your head around. But at the same time, just the way when showing up to a job, like not having makeup on your face, it's kind of that same feeling. That can be really, really nerve-wracking at times. So I first started kind of playing around with this idea, and I specifically remember the last couple videos that I did when wearing makeup and deciding to kind of let it all go. I remember sitting there in the mirror and applying cosmetics to my face, and I would procrastinate on filming, right? Because I was spending so long getting ready, and I was only doing it because I felt like the camera expected it of me, or society expected it, as opposed to because I really wanted to. And so I would procrastinate on videos for like 3 to 4 days because I just couldn't bring myself to put on makeup and to sit down, because it did feel like a chore. But this is also my job, and other people who work on our team rely on this income. Like, I have to do this. And there have been other times, even without makeup, that it's, you know, it's a struggle to wake up in the morning sometimes. And it's a struggle to act motivated or happy if there's something going on in your personal life. But for a long time, it was that dread of applying makeup that was really getting to me. And at this time, my content had pivoted more towards skincare rather than cosmetic reviews. And it's because my interest has always been the anatomy and biology of skin and our beauty. And I love makeup if it's creative, but I don't like feeling that it's a chore. I remember sitting here in this mirror and applying my full face of foundation right before I was about to film a fibroblast skin tightening video. And I remember just thinking, oh my God, this is so tedious. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not liking what I'm doing. I'm putting on fake lashes, you know, this is taking me an hour. Why am I spending this kind of time? When I ended up filming that fibroblast skin tightening video, airplanes were going around outside, and I remember the second that I finished with that video, I smeared skincare on my face, and I was like, I can't wait to take this off. I couldn't wait to remove it because it was putting a side of me forward that I felt people expected. But at that point, it was kind of hiding something about me as well that I didn't realize. The other like last makeup video was the Kourtney Kardashian reaction. That was one of the first first ones that I filmed. And I remember feeling the need to put on makeup before reacting to a Kardashian. Like them or not, the Kardashians shape culture. They are arguably some of the most beautiful people alive, and people look to them for beauty and skincare advice. And I just couldn't have myself sitting there, you know, sharing my thoughts on Kourtney's routine and not wear makeup because she's so beautiful, right? And even when she was taking off her makeup, I remember looking at it, felt like she kept her lashes on. Maybe they were extensions, but I was just like, I'm glad that I chose to wear makeup today because I was feeling insecure. And those were kind of the last videos, the last final straws. And I remember after filming those, I was just like, I can't keep wearing this makeup anymore because it's not something I'm doing for me. It's something that I'm doing for others. Just the way I was covering my acne for others, and YouTube helped me overcome that. And in my real life, I was able to kind of take off that mask. I was feeling the need to dress up, or felt the need to be presentable. And I was almost asking myself, this is making what I do online less fun. And is this really the way I want to show up for people? So then there was one morning I was getting ready to put on my makeup, and I sat there with my makeup brush and I was just like, no. And I put it down. And that was so exciting to sit down and to film. And you could almost see like a little pep in my step. You could almost see that I was like refreshed, being able to speak completely makeup free to the camera. And when it comes to filming, it takes, you know, a couple of weeks to edit these videos depending on the timelines. And so there will be days that I film, you know, a couple videos in one sitting. I was just getting to content. I was like on a roll, and it felt so great to just be able to jump into it and speak so openly. And I felt like without all of this stuff on my face, I was also kind of showing up like a friend on a sleepover, and I could just be exactly who I was, and I didn't need anything else, and I was able to get more done within the day. And I didn't have this lingering annoyance of having to apply cosmetics just for the sake of society, right? Because hopefully you don't care about what I look like. Hopefully you care about the value, the information, the education or entertainment that I provide. And that was the first big thing that ripping my makeup off and stopping, you know, wearing a full face of makeup in YouTube videos taught me. It was that people don't value me just for my looks. People value me for what I try to help or what I can bring to the table. And God, what a confidence boost that is. And again, I know that's a stereotype. I'm sure there's some people that care about what I look like. It's why I still, you know, tend to do my hair in a way that I like. But it was very refreshing to recognize that people didn't unsubscribe or stop watching. I had this fear that if I didn't look presentable, that people wouldn't watch me. Just the way in my real life, I felt like if I didn't have makeup on, I didn't get as much attention, or people didn't listen to me. All they would stare at is my acne and not listen to what I had to say. And I was afraid that my views were really gonna tank, but I was actually able to be more myself. I was able to be less reserved in a way, less covered up. Like literally, here's my bare skin and my bare emotions showing through. And I've always been a brutally honest person. And just having that come through in a new way without makeup, it was very, very relieving. And then when I was editing, I specifically remember, you know, thinking, should I apply a blur filter to my face? Like all of the other influencers do it and it would make me look better. And I was hyper focusing on all of my blemishes and imperfections. And thankfully, I decided to not put that blur on a video. And seeing that video go live, seeing just as many people watch it, learn from it, talk about it in the comments, and people weren't pointing out the fact that, you know, I had a blemish on my chin, or that my eyebrows weren't plucked, that my nails weren't done. It was really, really refreshing. And it helped me realize that my value is not based on what I look like, but for who I am and what I do. And like, that sounds so weird to say because it's still kind of hard to wrap my head around, you know, growing up having acne and always feeling insecure about my self-worth. But how freaking cool is that? And it allows me to lead by a better example when I tell other people that the value you bring to this world has nothing to do with what you look like. And your success and your happiness and your relationships and all of the amazing things you do at work or at home, they don't rely on you looking a certain way. And like, how freeing and liberating is that? It was like a really good confidence boost. And I think that that confidence kind of translated through the camera in a way. And so instead of seeing my views dip on YouTube, I actually saw them take off. And I think it was because of that confidence, right? And being more myself, people appreciate that. They respect that. You can kind of tell when someone's like reserved or insecure. At least sometimes I can when watching content, or there's just something that feels off about it. But I was just like, I'm showing up barefaced. This is me. Take it or leave it. And those who resonate with it, that's why we're here. That's why we stay. But that wasn't the only change that started to happen. I was actually able to create more content as well. Not just better content, but more of it. As mentioned, I film a couple videos at a time usually, and I was just able to just sit down and knock it out. Whereas in the past, I would have to sit there and spend an hour putting on my makeup and dreading it, right? I would get my eyeliner uneven and I'd freak out about it for 30 minutes. Then in between videos, I would have to like touch up my my makeup because hi, she's oily, and I would have to like blot or reapply my lipstick. And I was just able to get to it. And I think you probably noticed, like, I started touching my face more. I'm a very touchy-feely person. Touch is like a love language of mine. And it's one way that I connect to the world around me, whether it's people through high fives and hugs, or whether it's through items or skincare textures and feeling them, or through reactions where I literally touch my face and I know it's not good for me. But not wearing makeup has allowed me to do that. And I think not wearing makeup has actually allowed my skin to be better as well. When you think about it, anything you put on your face can cause your skin to break out. And I was always very diligent about writing down what I'm using or seeing what does or doesn't break out my skin. But when I stopped wearing makeup in every video, and I also stopped wearing it in my day-to-day life, and therefore I was wearing less of it, and it's just like my skin, you know, could be a little bit more free. And I was actually able to track what skincare I was using, and the makeup wouldn't throw that off. Because let's say that you have a foundation that's super heavy and it looks beautiful, but it like sits on your skin, or if you touch it, like it balls up and it just gets clunky and it gets stuck in your pores. I wouldn't know if it's the new moisturizer I was trying, or if it was my foundation that was left on my face that was breaking me out that day. And now that I don't feel the need to cover my face with pounds of foundation every day, I'm like, okay, if something changed in the way my skin is, it's either my hormones, my sleep, or my diet, those kinds of things, or it's this new skincare product that I introduced that wasn't a fit for me. Goop microdermabrasion scrub. My skincare is more accurate, it's more authentic, and then I can make more content because I'm not sitting here and reapplying stuff halfway throughout the day. And I also spend less on makeup. You may have noticed that I still fill in my eyebrows, or I'll still apply mascara. There are even some live streams that I've done recently where I will take an exclusive group of butterflies through like a live makeup tutorial, and that's fun, but it's a choice rather than a chore. And I think that's the big point, and also the most liberating point about it. And now when it comes to purchasing makeup, it's because it's something that I actually need or actually want. One of the things that kind of ruined makeup for me was all of the free makeup, and that sounds very counterintuitive, but at the height of makeup YouTube, when I was just kind of pulling away from it because I didn't like the drama in the beauty community, we were getting a lot of free PR, and that was overwhelming. It was exhausting. It's like you couldn't enjoy that one thing because the next thing was just being slapped in your face. And let me just tell you, when a brand sends you PR, it's not because they like you and they think you're cool. It's because they're expecting something from you. Sometimes that feels really shitty, kind of like a friend who's constantly using you. And I know, like, it's not the most difficult thing in the world. Other people go through way worse, but it is one aspect of having influence as a part of your job that can be really negative. And I found that with cosmetics, I kind of lost touch of what it felt like to shop the aisles for makeup that I liked, or to apply makeup in a creative way. It's just like this was a job, and it was something I had to do. And I also felt like I did lose touch with what it felt like to be a consumer. And that's why now I have a skincare budget every single month, and I spend my money on skincare because I literally want to understand, feel, and be the person that I am, and not let any PR or influence literally influence that or influence me. My skincare reviews are more authentic because of that, and without stripping off my makeup and going through those experiences, I wouldn't have that mindset, right? And I think that that's one of the mistakes that I see a lot of the younger influencers making. If you want a video on mistakes young influencers make, I think that could be really interesting. But it's diving headfirst into PR, and it's feeling the need to please these brands or please these companies. And it's like, the only person you should be pleasing is you and the people that are in this with you, your community, your audience, butterflies. Like, why are you giving that brand any power? Right? Half the times their products suck. And I'm so lucky to be in a place that, you know, I do get, you know, some of these gifted things, and most of them I donate or give to members of our team, because what am I gonna do with all of it, right? I have an entire skincare shelf in my bathroom, and some of that is mine, some of it personal, some of it is work that I apply to other people's faces, some of it is just empty bottles so I can kind of hold them up and, you know, I've used them so I understand the experience, and a good half of that is giveaway stuff. And that's very wonderful to be able to do. But there's a way to manage that with authenticity. And if I hadn't gone through this whole makeup experience and understanding who I am underneath the makeup, I don't think I would ever be at the place where I could understand how these products or how these gifts impact me, and how therefore I view the world around me and navigate through it as someone who does consume products and, yes, buys them myself and uses them on my face. By far, the most important change that happened when I stopped wearing makeup in my YouTube videos was how my purpose related to others and how others reacted to and reflected what I was doing. You know, when I film, like, I'm talking to a camera and I know it's you, but at the same time, after editing and working on a thumbnail and a description description, when I sit there and hit publish, like I am waiting for the premiere. I am waiting to chat with you in the comments. Like it is the best part of this. It's that community, it's that connection, it's that conversation and that dialogue of discussion and growth. And when I see someone say, Cassandra, because you took off your makeup, I decided to take off mine, or I went out for the first time today without having to wear anything, or I put makeup on today because I wanted to and I played around creatively instead of having it feel like a chore, that is what I live for. And stripping my makeup off, both that very first time in that one viral video, as well as right now, it has helped me connect deeper to my purpose. You don't need permission from me to go makeup free. You don't need permission from anyone. But if you see somebody do it, it makes it that much easier for us to do. The classic example is like what, that 4 or 5 minute mile. It was this idea that no one could break like the 4-minute mile, like no one could run that fast. It just couldn't be done. And for years people would try and nobody could beat it. One year, there was a person that did it and they smashed through that finish line. And guess what happened? Right after they did that, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 people also beat that 4-minute mile record or that 5-minute mile record or whatever it was. And it was almost this proof of concept. People just had to see that it was possible and they could recognize that that could be a reality for them. And we see that time and time again when it comes to goal setting and, you know, the capability of the human body or spirit or mind. And how cool is it that just by sitting here and being my authentic self, someone else might be able to see that and might be able to find it within themselves too and say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's my purpose. Like that is my passion. It's what I live for, to educate, to entertain, and to inspire and empower other people to love and know their skin. And being able to do that online, like that is my life's work. That is the value that I wake up every single day with and literally strive to achieve. And the fact that stripping off my makeup and being able to use it strategically when and how I want to has helped me actualize that and help other people show up more authentically in their own lives and more confident in their own lives and have people recognize them for who they are, not what they look like. There is literally no better gift. It's what I live to do. And without this YouTube channel, or without these experiences, or without stripping off my makeup that first time and then again, you know, in the last year, I don't know if it would have been possible for me to recognize these things the way I do. So thank you for being a part of this with me. I'd love to challenge you to go out without your makeup or to use it creatively and as a choice instead of a chore if you haven't already. I'd also recommend you stay hydrated, reapply that SPF under or over your makeup, which yes, we've already done a video on. And of course, always be beautiful both inside and out. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.